Hello everybody, this is Aaron Shell bringing you another M14 draft. So I'd say this is a pretty easy pack one pick one. The only real choice is Primeval Bounty. It's just an awesome enchantment. It makes all your cards essentially do something even if it's just a land. So I think we're just going to snap that up. Some stuff we should look at. Ooh, we got past a Mindsparker. I wonder what they took over it. Took an uncommon, so they probably took Doomblade over it, but we're gonna take Mindstreaker here. I like the general combination of green red. It is noting that we're passing a Outrage here, which is kind of bad signaling, but I think Mindstreaker or whatever its name is, isn't it? Mindsparker? I forget. I'll have to read it really quickly. Anyway, that it's just gonna be it's gonna serve us better than taking removal here. Alright, this pack, I mean, we get a Root Walla. It is the best green common after all. So we're just gonna take that. We're not really seeing any red or green in that pack, unfortunately. Well, Pyromancer's Gauntlet, right? I think that's what it is pretty much unplayable, but we'll pick up a Shock here. Shock is not terrible. It's not as good in this format, obviously, as it used to be, but it is a fine pickup, so we're not going to be unhappy about that. That's pretty late at Johnny's Chosen, but white is not a color that anyone ever wants to go into, so we are not going to change plans here. I don't really like Brindlebore, but you know, Lava Axe is only okay. This is a pretty mediocre pick between these two, but honestly, I think we go with the dude. I mean, we need to fill out our curve, right? And a dude is going to make our deck more likely than anything else. Well, there is a Howl the Night pack, which we're just going to snap up. We're going to be heavy green anyway. And then whoa, late Volcanic Geyser. That is very late Geyser, and we're just going to snap that right up. Removal is very good, as they say. So we're obviously looking for a few more creatures. So here's a pretty late Wild Ricochet. So I think we're just gonna take that. You know, you get some random really good blowouts with this card. So we're just gonna pick it up. Okay, well in this pack we are going to. It's between the Seismic Stomp and the Canyon Minotaur. We probably should, or actually we could hate a Disperse. That seems like a pretty good option because Disperse is a really annoying to play against, and something going that late is very unusual. Alright, well, that's a late Root Walla, so we're just going to snap that up. Root Walla is supposedly one of the best green commons, I think. I think it's second to, like, Deadly Recluse, personally. The green Doomblade is a green Doomblade. So our deck is looking pretty solid. We've got a lot of power. We got Ricochet, uh, the Sparker, and a Primeval Bounty. And then we have... So we're basically winning the late game no matter what. Like, with Primeval Bounty, all of our spells and all of our lands do stuff for us. So we're really looking to make the game go long. I think here we take a Lava Axe. There's nothing else in that pack that we really wanted, so Lava Axe could give us some reach if we really needed it. But as I said, I think we have the long game just locked up with this deck. Howl of the Night pack, Geyser, Primeval Bounty, all these things just make us win when we go long. So we're just picking up jank now. So I don't think. I guess take the rare. I mean, we're not going to play any of these cards. Might as well just take the rare. Here, I think we take Wild Guess. We might play it. It was better in M13. And we'll take a Tyrant. Probably won't play it, but it's definitely something we could play. It's in our colors or whatever. Last pick of Plains, because who would ever want to take a plane, play Plains in this format? Okay, well, we have a Ratchet Bomb. That is certainly an interesting one. I don't know how good it is in this format, but there is an Enlarge, which I'm probably going to take. You know, it's a pump spell that makes them get rid of a guy, so it's kind of like a removal spell, and it pushes through a lot of damage. So I think that's what we want to take. You know, there is a root walla, there is a predatory sliver if we really want to lower our curve, because our curve is pretty high. But I think we're just going to take power over curve in this instance. And it's more likely that we're going to get more low drop passed to us than we are going to have a large pass to us. Gonna just hide that planes really quickly, because who needs to see that? So our deck, once again, as I was saying, is it's a little bit on the high end of the curve, but we just by prioritizing lower drops, we should be able to do fine. And there's a lower drop right there, Deadly Recluse, the ye old green Doomblade. So we're just gonna snap that up. Other things to note in that pack, there was a Sanguine Bond, but we're not really interested in anything like that. I guess I don't think we passed an Accord. I don't, but we passed like a few Congregates, so maybe there's a life gain deck going around, but I highly doubt it. Alright, well, some cards of note is there's an opportunity in the pack, but we are just going to snatch up that Baloth, I think. 4 force for 4 is exactly where we want to be, and we're definitely wanting that Advocate of the Beast to wheel. So hopefully that wheels and we can set up some Beast synergies. But, you know, the 4 for 4 is really where we want to be at. Get rid of all the Canyon Minotaur so we can play that instead. Well, this pack is actually interesting. There's a Door to Destinies, but I don't think there's enough tribal kind of stuff in this to even merit considering taking it. So we're just going to pick up our second Baloth 4 for 4, which is definitely where we want to be. We want to pick up as many of these guys as we can. So we've got a good curve starting to form now. We have a 2-drop. We got 2 Root Wallas and a really good 3-drop in the Sparker, and some 4-drops now. As I said, we don't really have to worry about going long, because we're just going to win the long game with Primeval Bounty and a Howl of the Night pack, so we just have to worry about getting there. Now this is actually a really interesting pick. We got a Geyser here, a little bit of a late Geyser, and an Elvish Mystic. So right now we really have to choose between like potential power and guaranteed power. Like Elvish Mystic, on the times we're going to draw it, it's just going to make our deck so much more insane. Just being able to play 4/4s on turn 3 is just nuts. And Volcanic Geyser, while it is a removal spell, we already have a Geyser, we have an Enlarge, and our creatures are just so much bigger we don't really have to worry about removal as much. So I think we still take the Mystic here. It'll just make our deck so much better if we do draw it than having a second Geyser would do for us. This is really could go either way, but I think Elvish Mystic is definitely where we want to be. Well, I think we take Mana Weft Sliver here. It's pretty easy choice. There is another Ajani's Chosen here. That's interesting. Maybe someone's got a sweet enchantment deck in white. Oh, poor white. Why did white have to get screwed in this core set? White isn't that bad of a color. So for this pack, it's a pretty obvious Spore Mound. Spore Mound's just a all-around solid creature. It's a 3/3 body that accrues value every turn. So it's exactly what we want so we can get to the late game. Plus, the 1/1s it makes can actually be relevant if we're ever casting spells and putting 3+1/+1 counters on them. Ooh, a Burning Earth. So I'm tempted to take Burning Earth for myself, because I need it for a sideboard, and plus it might be worth some tickets. I'm not exactly sure if it is or not. Let's look it up really quickly. I don't think so. It's worth like 1 tick. That doesn't really matter. I think I'd just rather take the Ranger's Guile, to be honest. I'm not even sure we play it, but I'd just rather have access to it in this kind of deck. Burning Earth isn't that hard to get. Well, we can have either a Root Wall or an Academy Raider, so I think Root Wall is the pick there. Sideboard Naturalize. Sounds good to me. If we ever see that Sanguine Bond or something like that, we can board it in and get there. So we still got a few cards that are not as playable. Ooh, a late Giant Spider. We'll definitely snap that right up. But we have triple Root Walla now, which is pretty darn good. So going into pack 3, we already have 23 pretty much playables. Now, I'd like to get rid of the Wild Guess. And the Canyon Minotaur for sure. Ooh, another spider. Well, one thing we might not do is we might not actually play these spiders because they're not we're more of an aggressive deck right now. We're looking to just bash people in the face, and spider is not very good at bashing, so we may just side it in versus ooh, a late Bramble Crush too. That's for the sideboard though. But we might just side in our giant spiders against like the Flyers deck or something like that. Whatever, just jank. Someone else can have that. All lands. But we may not play Ranger's Guile. Stuff that I'm definitely looking to improve on is the Tyrant. Don't really want a Lava Axe. And definitely don't want a Canyon Minotaur or a Bramble Crush. Oh, Lifebane Zombie. Too bad it's not our colors. This pack is really weak, except for us at least. Water Servant's very good. So is Lifebane Zombie, but I think we just take our third Baloth. Now we really need to start looking out for Advocate of the Beast. That card will just make it insane in our deck. Well, there's the Flames. We're just going to snap that up, I think. Flames is a very good card. Just generates a lot of 2-for-1s. This is actually an interesting pick. I think we might want to take Shiv's Embrace. It just gives us a way to win really quickly, because we slap it on one of our 4/4s, and all of a sudden we have a 6/6 flying threat. Although, it is a little risky, because obviously you can get blown out, but I think that's what we're going to take. We need ways to end the game reasonably quickly. Ooh, Dismiss into Dream. I really wish I could play that. I love going deep with Dismiss into Dream, so I think I'll just take it. I don't want someone else to go all phantasmal on me, for lack of a better word. Ooh, a young pyromancer. So I think we actually want to take that young pyromancer here, because we just want to lower our curve a little bit. And we actually have a good deal of spells here. We've got, if we want to play a Lava Axe, we can play a Lava Axe. We got Flames of the Firebrand. We have Wild Ricochet. We actually have a good deal of instants and sorcery, so we might get value out of that. Ooh, Hunt the Weak. So that'll, again, power up our young Pyromancer. And it's a removal spell in green, so we're just going to snap that up. And it really does make our young Pyromancer a lot better. So our curve's looking a lot better. Instead of just all up in the 5s and 6s, we're now down to the 3s and 4s, which is really where we want to be. Only a few picks left. Probably Giant Growth here, yeah. Just a solid pump spell that can help push us through. And the pump spells really gain value with with young Pyromancer, because every single pump spell just gives us a 1/1. This seems pretty good to me. Pitchburn Devils, ooh, that's a great inclusion for us. We're just gonna snap that baby up. It's gonna go great. Just gives us a little bit more removal and a little bit more reach. And a 3/3 for 5 is not too shabby. Well, nothing really playable for us here. I guess the best card's probably the Nightwing Shade, so we'll just hate that out. And nothing really playable for us here either. I guess just take another dude. Probably don't want, not even gonna play him. Hate the combat trick. It's a good way to go about it. Probably take the Seismic Stomp. I don't think we play it just because we already have enough ways to push through that we don't really care about it. It's more for like hyper aggressive decks, and we're more of a like kind of mid-range kind of thing. I mean, I just don't see how we lose the late game with our Primeval Bounty and our Howl. Take a Demolish. This is all jank at this point. But I think our deck looks pretty solid. Obviously, we still have a few cuts to make. Whatever, Staff. Once again, it's just jank. Just like one or so cuts. Hopefully, hopefully it will look correct. Oh, I think we actually just have 23 because there's a Seismic Stomp that I'm probably not playing. It's still there. Unless I'm mistaken. Alright, well, let's start Start building. We're definitely playing that. Playing that. Maybe a Rangel's Guile. Maybe Naturalize. But we're definitely going to play all our Root Wallas and all of our Balos. Large, yes. Yep, yep, yep. Maybe so. I don't think we actually want to play Seismic Stomp. Young Pyromancer, I'm pretty sure we're gonna play it. I'm just gonna separate everything to make sure that we're playing all our good stuff first. So we only got two more spots for things. Hmm. Start looking at our creatures and spells. We only have 12 creatures, but we have two more slots, so we can play a few more creatures. Creature count is yep. Definitely think Young Pyromancer is worth the inclusion here. Just look, we have 2, 4, 6, 8 instants or sorceries. So we're definitely going to be casting some, at least one or two, if it ever hits play. So for our last card, I think it's really between like Wild Ricochet and probably Ranger's Guile or Shiv's Embrace. I mean, well, I would think I would rather play Wild Ricochet to be honest, because I just think we get too blown out. Let's see how it looks actually, because I mean I don't like leaving open 4 mana for Wild Ricochet, but I think it'll probably have a more powerful effect on the game than Shiv's Embrace. Well, here's the list I'm gonna go with. As you can see, playing the Wild Ricochet. So I guess I will see you guys in round 1.